dark on them over there. So we are now live on YouTube, Facebook. Let's see if we can get Instagram going. Going live on Instagram. And we'll jump on the wide angle lens so it looks really big in here, but it isn't really. Welcome, good morning. Welcome to our Wednesday morning movement. And what we're going to focus on today is thinking about, as we move, connecting the breath with the movement. So it's not disassociated. So the movement, all the movement we're going to do today, whether we're doing hip openers, whether we're doing squats, whether we're doing a little bit of Qigong flow, should all have that sense of ease of breath and ease of movement. Even if we're challenging ourselves a little bit, we want to get to that point where we're not losing control of the breath. And I want the focus to be breathing the right quantity of air, the right volume of air for what we're doing at this moment in time. So we're going to start off with our spinal mobilization. So you're going to take your feet shoulder width apart, nice and tall through the spine, a little bit of softness in the knees. Just tune in with the breath. So breath just natural in and out through the nose, just going through into the face. And then we're going to start that rotation from the hips and the waist. Oh, I got a nice creak there through my spine as I started that one off this morning. Nice crunch. And just breathing very light, very soft, quiet breathing. We don't want to hear the breath. And just tapping across belly and back, relaxing the shoulders. Relaxing the space between the shoulder blades. Relaxing into the face, softening and relaxing into the brow. Softening and relaxing into the eyes. Remembering a nice Qigong visualization, inner smile. Sounds a bit woo-woo, but actually it makes sense if you have your tongue resting very lightly on the roof of the mouth, and we have that sort of sense of inner smile. Guess what? It opens up all of those airways and the breath just flows even easier in and out through the nose. Remember the importance of what we're doing here to get the spine oiled, energized. And spine rotation is essential every time we take a step forwards. There's a subtle micro movement through the spine, that rotation through the spine. Let's now slow that down, or slow it down into water waves. And sink a little bit lower in the hips and the knees in water waves. Just feel that connection to the ground. Keeping that spine long, strong. And slow it down. Just stand for a moment. Let's bring our feet hip width, Just a normal standing position, standing tall. Just letting the breath settle. And then we're going to step out again. Let's do that spine ripple. So remember with this one, we tilt the pelvis, we keep the knees soft. So we're not locking the knees out, but we keep the legs straight. And then we keep the chest forwards, head forwards. And then we tuck the pelvis underneath and roll back up. So tilt forwards. You'll feel it biting a little bit in the hamstring. And then roll back up. Let the arms hang. So think of that ripple through the spine. Leading from the center, so you're spilling out the front of the pelvis and you're tucking under. Oh, as he falls over. It's a good start. And again, just breathing very light, soft. I think with the breath, and particularly when we're moving or exercising in inverted commas, we feel we have to breathe in a particular way. So we start to use the breath to move, which is important. We want the breath to be able to guide the movement, but we don't need to overdo things, and we tend to always wanting to be doing stuff, getting it right. Just go with it, just go with the flow. Enjoy what you're doing. Enjoy rippling your spine on a Wednesday morning. Don't know why I said that in a northern accent. Let's do 2 more. So it should feel good, should feel nice. Cultivating all of that energy in the body. Let's bring the feet together again. About shoulder width, about hip width, just stand tall. And stepping out. Bit of dog wags the tail, so remember you're swishing the tail and then you just free up the upper body, so we're getting that lateral flexion, side to side movement of the spine. Pelvis stays parallel to the ground, really using the ground. So it's like you're pushing the ground away. Connected to the ground. Just letting that head go. And slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Bit of a shake. Give your body a little bit of shake. Shaking the legs out, shaking the arms out, and then just tapping in and out of the ground, the heels into the ground. Now here, when we're talking about just breathing and letting the breath guide the movement, here we're going to deliberately take fuller breath. So here we're going to use the breath to really expand the body and to do a bit of cleansing and clearing. But of course you wouldn't be breathing like this all day long. You wouldn't be taking more air in than you need, but we're going to slow it down. We're going to think about just taking in a nice, calm, full breath in through the nose. So breathing in and letting go. It's just slowing the breath, breathing in and This one we're going to do a breath in and we're going to hum out. So we're going to extend that exhale with a hum. So take a nice full breath in and then just breathe naturally and slow it down. Again, it should feel good, it should feel nice. Opening the shoulders, just standing. Tuning into those tingling sensations running through the body. Where do you feel those tingling sensations? Letting the breath settle, just letting the breath calm. Relaxing into the face. Palms facing down towards the ground. And we're just going to do an open the flow. So breathing in, think about that whole spine movement. Breathing out. So I'm going to exaggerate the movement, but I want you to feel as if you're doing that spine wave. It's breathing in and breathing out. It's a whole body movement. I'm not just stood here doing this with my arms. Look at the difference of that as opposed to breathing in and breathing out. Whole body breathing. Soft, light, effortless breathing. Feel how heavy the arms are, the shoulders are, and it's like they're dropping down through slightly thicker, denser air. Expanding the whole body as you breathe in. Letting go and softening as you breathe out. Shifting the weight as you breathe in. And I really want you to get the sense that the breath is moving the body. As you breathe in, body moves to accommodate that breath. As you breathe out, body settles just to let go of the breath, rather than trying to move in a particular way or trying to breathe in a particular way. And then the next one, as we breathe in, we're just going to sink down a little bit. So just squat down a little bit. And as we breathe out, we're just going to stand up a little bit. So it's a bit opposite to the tiger move. Breathing in and then breathing out. If you need to adjust your feet position, if you're a little bit close, just take those feet slightly wider apart. You can move a little bit so you can go into breathing in Sorry, there, breathing in, breathing out. I've gone the wrong way around now because I moved. So let's stop for a moment. That was my fault, sorry. I want to breathe in and lower. And then breathe out. So it's the opposite way to almost like to what we do in the tiger. So arms float up as we sink down. Now, if the breath starts to change, if you suddenly have to hold the breath, or you're suddenly having to really increase the volume of the breath, or the breath starts to get a little bit chaotic, you just make the movement smaller. We just go back to a smaller version. I don't want you to feel exerted by this. It wants to stay with that flow. Breath wants to be light and soft. It's not a competition to see who can get the deepest. It's about really tuning in to the breath guiding the movement. Slow, steady movement. And then just coming back without the dip. See if we can slow it a little bit more. And then take a rest. And have a little shake out if you need to shake out. Let's go a little bit wider this time on the feet. And we're going to turn out a little bit more. So we've got a slightly wider stance and a turn out. And then we're going to shift, keeping that pelvis level to one side. So this leg, still a little bit of softness in the knee. Not locking that knee out, but the pelvis shifts. We're going to keep that pelvis low, and then we're just going to shift the other way. So imagine there was a table there, and you wanted to just shift underneath the table. So the spine stays long, pelvis stays level, and we're just shifting side to side. I'm not doing this at all, just gliding across the floor. Keeping low, not popping up and down, just keeping low. And feel how you get that rotation ankle, knee, hip. Watch that the knee's not dropping in. But in order to keep, or to straighten that leg, you're going to get rotation in the hip, knee, ankle. So allow that to happen. Think of oiling the joints, oiling the hip joint, oiling the knee joint, oiling the ankle joint. Keep the spine tall, so keep tall. Keep that pelvis parallel to the ground. And then take a rest. Bring the legs tall. When you're doing that, make sure you get enough width. A couple of you just on Zoom there are a little bit close, so there wasn't really much going on here. So I want you to really challenge yourself obviously without hurting, in the width that you're taking the legs apart, and challenge yourself in the turnout of the foot so that we keep tall through the spine. So maybe just one more little go at that, nice and wide, so you feel the work going on in the hips, and then just glide, glide, keep tall through the spine, so keep lifting and lengthening the spine. Smooth movement. And again, just breathing easy. Keeping low as you scoot across. And then take a rest, come up to standing, bring the feet together again. Have a little shake out of the legs. And then we're going to go back to your wide stance. Again, get into that edge where you feel comfortable. I don't want you to force anything. We don't want to strain anything. Turning the feet out again. So challenging yourself with that turnout, but not forcing anything, and making sure that your knee isn't dropping in or anything like that. So if I show you from the side, I'm not stood like this with my knee dropping in. So that knee's going over the toe, and our pelvis, I'm not doing that. Pelvis is nice and not tucked, so I don't want you to over tighten the glutes there, but it's just nice and stable and solid and supported. And this time, again, just go nice and steady. We're going to raise one hand. So imagine you're holding something above your head. Watch that the shoulder isn't going up like that. So nice and low on the shoulder. And then we're going to glide the other hand down the inside of that thigh and the knee. So you're just reaching over, not too far. And then you're going to drive this leg, pushing that leg to straighten to stand back up. And we're going to glide down. Nice and slow, and then you're going to glide back up, and you're suddenly going, whoa, this hip's working really nicely. So we're strengthening through that leg, gliding down, coming up. Imagine you've got a little bit of weight. Imagine you're holding something above your head. So if it's holding it above your head, it won't be down here. It wants to be up there. Go slow. Remember, every movement we do should be a flowing movement, even if it's more challenging. Take a rest, and then we put that object down, and we pick it up with the other side. So other side, again, keep that shoulder down. We're not doing this. Nice and strong through the shoulder, and then just gliding. And again, it's not about the depth. Don't worry about how deep you're going. Go to that point where you really feel those muscles engaging, working, and your breath stays steady. Have a little bit of softness in the elbow. Feel how the feet connect to the ground. You really want to feel as if you're working the hip and the leg here, this side that you're reaching down on, so that you're having to use that to push back up. And take a break. Have a little bit of a shake out. Nice. Good, 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 good. Letting the breath settle, shoulder width apart. Breathing in. Rotating, breathing out. Gentle, soft breath in. Remember, we're breathing just the volume of air, just the quantity of air that we need. We're not breathing more air than we need, because if we breathe more air than we need, we breathe out more carbon dioxide than our body's making, If we breathe out more carbon dioxide than our body's making, then we disturb the balance of oxygen and carbon dioxide, which reduces the efficiency of oxygen delivery. Interlocking thumbs, resting, centering the body, centering yourself, bringing that focus to the center of the body. Just allowing yourself just to gently rock. Letting the body move as it needs to, not trying to do anything. Not trying to stand up straight, just being there. Tuning into that very soft, cool sensation of the air as it flows in and out the space behind the nose. And then just taking a very calm, fuller breath in. Opening your eyes, stepping your feet out. Little brush down. Tummy rub. Excellent. A few different things there we played around with, focusing on just breathing the right volume of air. So thanks for Keith for highlighting that at the beginning of the session. And on Monday's session, when we're focusing more on the breath, and we'll play around with that a little bit more, because often when we focus on breathing light, we think about breathing, reducing the breath. So it's a really subtle feeling that you should still feel calm and relaxed. If we want to stop the breath, or if we want to build our tolerance to CO2 very quickly, we pause the breath. But breathing light should be something that we're doing all day, but not breathing shallow. So a lot of it is the terminology, a lot of it is the cues that we focus on. So yeah, we'll have a little bit more play with that on Monday at our breathwork session. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed today's session. Thanks as always for your support and joining in. Have a great rest of the day. I'm not going to make you feel awful, but it's beautiful and sunny here in Portugal, so I'm just going to go for a little run. That's the last time I'll mention it before Christmas. Have a great rest of the day, and
Thanks, everyone.
I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Gary. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.